Hello everyone, welcome to the very first session where we take you through the raw journey of designing, building, and financing a high-value business. Today we're going to be talking about ideation, the birth of a business that usually starts in the same way as every business, full of dreams, motivation, and drivers that are necessary to set up the foundation, such as setting up a company, having the right product, finding people, raising money, and so on. But as the business begins to find its own legs, it starts to take on a personality of its own, obviously that is controlled and driven by the founders. Now, we'll get into what all that means in following sessions, but first let's talk about how it all begins. Every single business, no matter how big or small, starts with an idea. Now, how do you come up with an idea that will be worthy of your time, that will change your life or possibly change the world? I mean, do you scour the internet and research your way through until you find something that hits you? Do you talk to your friends to gain insight or inspiration? Or are you just really good at something that you're passionate about and wish to pursue? Though there is no formula to ideation, there are three main key areas to really ponder on and think about, because contrary to what people believe, entrepreneurship is actually a very personal experience. Something that spurs you into action and solve a problem. It's that spark within you that fuels your idea and increases the probability of your success. So to keep it simple, let's break it down into three key areas of personal experience, your environment, and inspiration. So the birth of an idea usually starts from a personal experience that matters to you. So usually that has caused you or someone you love or someone that's important to you some level of pain. And I say pain because there's nothing more motivating than finding a solution that doesn't exist and that is very close to your heart. People may then run into the problem where there just wasn't a solution for it. So the question is then why begins to surface. Why can't I find anything online, or why is there not a solution to this problem? Which takes you down the road of doing your research about the problem and why it doesn't exist. That eventually leads to finding then how many people are actually faced with this problem. The second area that drives the birth of an idea is the environment you put yourself in. So for example, Steve Jobs and Elon Musk were able to birth their ideas not only from their personal experiences, but also being in an environment that worked for them and inspired innovative thinking. And that place is obviously Silicon Valley. Or you could be in a community or a town that is suffering from a water shortage or lack of electricity, and you wanted to find a way to produce electricity and find a way to solve that problem within your community. Another example would be just to throw yourselves into books. So surround yourself by reading books and music and traveling that would spark the imagination. One of my favorite quotes is from Albert Einstein, who said, "Imagination is more important than knowledge, for knowledge is limited, whereas imagination embraces the entire world, stimulating progress, giving birth to evolution." And that power of imagination comes from you and is created by you alone. So though outside forces may not be controllable, the environment or ecosystem that you created for yourself becomes that incubator of all of your ideas. So now the third key driver that bursts your business idea is inspiration. So Elon Musk was inspired by The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy that began his quest to save humanity and go to Mars. I know someone that was inspired by The Inconvenient Truth and started a clean tech company. Steve Jobs was inspired by his travels to India, which started Apple. Or were you inspired by a person? For example, many YouTube influencers are inspired this way, such as social media sensation Fat Jew, who was inspired by Paris Hilton, and the list goes on. So inspiration comes from many areas that click with you personally. So who or what is your inspiration? And now, last but not least, now this could be a fourth driver, but I would rather like to call it really the glue that binds these three dimensions together and gives it life, and that is passion. Are you passionate about it? Why do you believe in it so much? And are you willing to take the risk? Risk assessment will be covered in another session, but it is this passion that drives you to take that risk that ultimately then helps you make the decision whether you will take the plunge. People love talking about ideas, which is part of it, but if it's not personal or emotional to you, the likelihood you'll even start is nearly zero. So I find that really great entrepreneurs through my experience, are fully emotionally invested. I find that deeper the pain, inspiration, and demand engages innovation and action. It's really then you have embarked on a journey to the solution for the problem in need. So that's it for today. Thank you very much for joining me, and look forward to taking the next step in our next video when we talk about how to become more aware of your skills and talking about the aptitudes of becoming an entrepreneur. Thank you very much.